I did have a few questions that I get all the time. Um, so one of those is, does my phone number have to change?
And the answer is no. We have a process where we literally port your number. We pull it from your existing carrier and we pull it over to our system, our carrier, which is us. And it is a smooth transition. There is a period of time in between as we do that, that actually we issue a temporary number. So you can actually, we were talking about training, we were talking about different things that go on the day of installation. We can make you live that day because we give you a temporary number, and all you have to do is forward your existing number to the temporary number, and you're live at that moment before the porting ever occurs. It's also a nice little safety feature too, because it gives you a feel for it. You get an instant feel for the system right after you've been trained.
Yeah, great answer. I typically answer that question with, if you had to change your number, we would never replace phone systems. um, and then, what do you do about fax lines? So this is a common question as well. Um,
Fax lines, there are two different and actually going to be three different options here very, very soon. We do have a hosted fax solution. Excuse me, hosted fax solution basically that is it's commonly called eFax a lot of times, where we can actually receive faxes through your email system. So they would come in and they would come as a fax and it would get sent to a distribution email, maybe if it needed to go to multiple people, or a dedicated box, a dedicated mailbox for faxes for that everyone can have access to and then respond to. If you want to send a fax, you actually send it to an email destination. Send it to an email destination, and it's very simple to do as well. The other or more traditional method is simply using what's called an analog telephone adapter, and we simply connect that device, a small box, it's registered like an extension to us, and it connects to your traditional fax machine. Because we do recognize that some people like a combination of things. A lot of people love to receive their a lot of people love to receive their faxes on their email, but they still have that, I got to have my fax machine to be able to send it out because I'm writing things down. I want to slap it on the fax machine and send it. And we can actually do both.
Great answer. Yeah, I know that was kind of a complicated one because there's a couple different options, but I'm really glad I have this content because now I can send this question and answer section to clients when they're considering VoIP. Will I need, here's another question, if we don't have any from anyone currently, will I need to retain any phone charges with my internet service provider? So sometimes on Spectrum, you'll see, your phone bill is probably 75% of your bill if you're with Spectrum or Frontier, whatever it might be. Will they need to retain any of that?
The answer is no. Actually, there you would reduce your service of your existing. Once we port away your numbers, there's no need to maintain that service. However, there is caution to be advised there because you want to make sure that you maintain your internet service. And sometimes that main number that you're saying that has come to us, that we've ported away, is the main telephone number for your internet service, and they'll accidentally cut off your internet. So we have a whole process in place, and we advise the customer when things are complete, and we carefully advise them to make sure that they maintain their internet service. Don't let the company that you previously dealt with get a little aggressive and cut you off. But absolutely, you get rid of that service. You no longer need that.
Yeah, that's great. And last question here. We talk about VoIP and that it's relatively new technology from a technology perspective, even though it's been around for a while. And there's all these features, all these benefits that it gets to a point where I hear a lot where people are like, it seems complicated, where it's like, I kind of just want a system. And so I guess the question is kind of broad in that, is moving to VoIP a complicated process?
No, absolutely not. We do understand the ultimate goal is when the phone rings, I want to answer it. That's really the ultimate goal, and I need to speak to someone, and they need to get to me as quickly and as easily as possible. The VoIP systems are simple to deploy. They achieve that goal with proper design. I mean, that's why we do the design sessions as we do, and the implementation. the simplicity of the system is that it just works and it works anywhere. Again, in concert with Alltek doing the design work and the internet work or the router work behind the scenes, there's no problems with this type of system.
Yeah, I totally agree. And so that's why I always kind of shy away from talking too much about the features. I'm like, it's going to do what you're used to doing, and it's probably also going to save you money. And those two things are typically people like, let's do it. So this, oh, I think Pat has her hand raised. Um,
Yes, I do.
oh yeah, go ahead, Pat.
Okay, VoIP. I was just getting familiar with that after you invited me. But prior to this, someone had talked to me about Grasshopper and said that it was a much simpler system in which it would be based solely on the cell phones, in which we would download an app that it would go with us wherever we needed to go. It would not require any IT. Do any one of you know anything about this other system and can tell me which one is simpler and which one would you recommend? Because I need simplicity at this point. I that word, and I do need simplicity. We still have the landline phones, but as soon as we become accustomed to the landline phones, it seems as if they're out of date or obsolete. So I do see this new phone, this Link. I've never seen a phone like that. But I'm just still torn, as I know that I'm going to make a change, but I need to be informed as to what change we're going to make. I'm not comfortable really with taking the cell phone everywhere you go, downloading this app, and I really don't know much about it. So that's what I'm asking. Do either one of you know anything about this Grasshopper?
I can't say I'm really as familiar with Grasshopper. I do know the name, and they might be more focused on the mobile app as the primary type of communication device. That's what it sounds like right there. Our system gives you the option of having either the mobile app or a physical desk phone or both. So you can work in the traditional environment, which most people are used to in their business, having a desk phone on the table, or we can actually work with people that don't want the desk phone on their table anymore, on their desk anymore, with a PC soft phone, which would be like I'm connected right now with in my case, I'm using a wired headset, and I could be using my app that actually runs on my computer instead. So I have different options available to me, and you can use any one of those or all three of those types of options. Unfortunately, I can't give you really any more information about the other company. Maybe Taher knows them a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm a little familiar with Grasshopper, and again, I don't want to say anything because I don't want to. I mean, I'm going to say something, but I don't want to say anything bad on Grasshopper because there might be things I don't know about them. But it does sound like they focus specifically on that soft phone on the cell phone, and so that's kind of like you're limited to that. Whereas with this service, the pricing seems about the same. You can also have a phone on your desk, but then if you want, you can use the cell phone app. So it's a little more flexible in that you can kind of do either or. It's a very simple process. Like we have in our office right now, we have like multiple people in the office using their actual phone. I use the soft phone on my laptop, and then JR, our senior engineer, actually just uses the cell phone soft app. So it can kind of be whatever you want. So each of your employees, Claudia might want, hey, I just want an actual phone, whereas you might be on the go more, you just want the cell phone. And it's super easy to say, hey, Medtel, this is the way I want to do it, and they can set it up for you, or we can set it up for you. It's very simple. So that's why, Pat, what you're saying, oh, go ahead, Pat, I see your hand is raised again.
If my hand is raised, that was an accident. I'm looking at everything here, and from what I can tell, you're giving me more options. So I will be able to have more options with this system, as opposed to just being limited to the cell phone.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
I would say, Pat, the idea here is that if you're looking for a easy to use system, I don't want to use simple because simple is almost negative in a way here. We can design the system to be as user-friendly as you need it to be. So we designed the system around what you wanted to do and how you want it to work. The idea is that it does the job you need it to do. no more. I mean, we will talk about all kinds of features because we're excited about features. I mean, I like to talk about hardware and all this stuff, but when it comes down to it, we'll implement exactly what you want to have implemented, and we'll make it as quick and easy for you as possible. And you'll really like our training, you know, that we go over the phone with you. I mean, we recognize everyone. If it rings, pick it up. We recognize that. But there are some features here that we would go over, and we make it really easy. That's our goal.
Thank you.
Thank you for the question. I appreciate it. And then I can do some more research on Grasshopper, Pat, and then I'll be reaching out in a little bit because I want to provide a good objective review of both. So I think at this point we haven't received any more questions, and I asked the most common questions.
I have one actually.
Oh yeah, absolutely, Vanessa.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no problem.
I have a question about the simultaneous ringing. In our office, we are constantly in and out. So, you know, if I'm trying to transfer a call to somebody's office phone and they're not there, then I have to hang up and dial their cell phone. So, I guess my question is with the simultaneous ring, let's say I pick it up on my cell phone because I'm not at the desk. Can I transfer it to somebody's extension and then it also ring their cell phone just in case they're not at their desk?
Yes, absolutely. Simultaneous ringing is exactly that. Anytime someone rings an extension, it'll ring both devices that they have in play, which would be the mobile app and their desk phone. So if my phone's right here on my desk in front of me and my desk phone's right here next to me as well, both will ring. If I happen to be out of the office, I always have my cell phone. It will ring, but my desk phone still rings. It's simultaneous. So it's easy to do. It doesn't matter who it comes. Anybody calling that extension, both items ring, both pieces ring. And I can actually even do it one after the other. I could say ring the desk phone first and then fail over to the mobile app. I tend to not want things to ring too long. I'd rather not take someone through this long follow me thing. I'd rather get it to them as quickly as possible.
Right. Okay. All right. That would be a big help for us because, like I said, we're constantly in and out. And I am working from home now with all the COVID stuff. So I am dialing the office in Lakeland from Winter Garden, and it's just, it gets chaotic. So that would be a big help. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. And it's like I mentioned, I'm working from home too, and it's just so easy because I see my soft phone and I see who's currently on the phone, who's not on the phone. I can just click transfer. I can. It's just been such a nice process, and so that's why I'm a huge advocate of VoIP, and I'm planning on doing something like this maybe every 6 months. So it sounds like we've had some really good questions. Miguel, I really appreciate your time today. It was very informative without getting boring. Sometimes webinars will get really boring. And so the goal today was to make it kind of a micro webinar. You were able to keep it really engaging. So thank you for that.
You're welcome. You kept me in check there. That's what it takes sometimes.
Yeah, I'm like,
yeah.
So we really appreciate you coming on today, and I really appreciate Vanessa, Pat. We had another customer come on, and Ashley's also here today. Ashley, do you want to come on for a second and say hello?
Hello.
Thanks
It's
for
a great meeting. So it was very informative and actually gave me a lot more information than what I think I even knew. So very informative.
Yeah, it was good for you to learn a bit too.
Yeah.
I promised Ashley I wouldn't make her say anything, so of course I'm
And he lied. No.
making her say something.
It's okay. I don't mind.
Next time we expect video too.
Yeah, exactly.
Next time I'm sick.
So we really appreciate you all being on here today, and then we're going to be doing a educational webinar about once a month. So we'll be reaching out on the next topics because we want to make sure we have a wide variety of high value content. So if you'll have any questions, you can send me an email afterwards, of course, or call me. You know me, you know Ashley. So feel free to. And Miguel, thanks again. I think we can go ahead and conclude the webinar today.
My pleasure. Everyone have a great day.
Take care, guys.
Thanks, everybody.